Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I just filmed my voice recap from last week, and now I am filming Dancing with the Stars. As I mentioned in the video earlier, I am a bit behind. I'm about a week behind. Today is Wednesday, and what I am filming the recap on today is from last Monday and Tuesday, not yesterday and the day before. So I am a little bit behind. I've just been busy with doctor's appointments and hanging out with friends and a couple other things, but I'm using today and tomorrow to catch up. So I caught up on this week of The Voice, and now I'm doing last week of Dancing with the Stars, and then tomorrow I will film the recaps from this week's episodes. So that's what's going on. I just wanted to reiterate that in this video. I talked about it in the one before, so I figured I'd say it here too. But last week was the first week of season 24 of Dancing with the Stars. I absolutely love this show. It's one of my favorites ever. I was a dancer growing up for most of my life, and then once I hit like middle school age, I kind of quit. So anyways, I'm just going to jump right into it. Normani and Val was the first couple that performed. I thought Normani had very, very pretty lines. She is kind of a dancer anyways, a performer slash artist slash whatever you want to call her. She is a performer, so I'm sure she has dance like hip-hop lessons with her choreography for her songs in Fifth Harmony. So I feel like she kind of knows a little bit about what she's doing. She had very pretty lines. I felt like her booty was out a little bit too much. Maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just she's got a badonky donk. But I felt like in some of her hold position, she had her butt sticking out a little bit too much instead of having it like under her. So I felt like that needed a little bit of work. They need more body contact. They were kind of really spread apart too. But I thought it was a really, really good first dance. She got a 27 out of 40, and so that was really good for a first dance, I thought. And then Nancy Kerrigan, which is the ice skater, and Artem danced next. I felt like she had, again, very beautiful lines. A lot of the girls on this show are really, really good with their lines. I feel like, honestly, everyone on this season was pretty decent, but I will talk about that again later. I felt like she needed to work on her arm extensions a little bit. They kind of went a little short instead of like fully extending, which I think one of the judges commented on. So I feel like she needs a little bit of work on that, a little bit of work on her spin. She kind of, like, her footing when she does her spins kind of got a little bit away from her, but she was really, really good too. She got all 7s, making her a 28 out of 40. Next was Chris Kattan and Whitney, and I just gotta say, God bless Chris Kattan. I freaking love him. He's so funny. He's such a personality. He's such a character, but his dancing was not that great. He is very, very funny. I thought the lift he did was pretty cool. And he is a little stiff in his shoulders, which again I think a judge commented on, but I felt like the steps were a little bit bumpy. He was kind of like bumping around instead of doing it so smoothly, but other than that, he was pretty good and pretty entertaining for the most part. He got 17, which I think is the lowest out of anybody. But yeah, he got a 17 out of 40. Bonner Bolton. Okay, guys, I did not know who this was going into the season, but now that I know who he is, first of all, I really, really, really hope that the chemistry that is going on between him and Sharna is real and it's not just played up for TV. But they're so cute, and in the package, she, like, the producer told her that she was blushing, and she's like, shut up. And it was just so cute. I can't wait to see what they do with this season. Sharna is probably my favorite female pro on the show. I really like, my top 3 favorites are Cheryl Burke, but she's not on this season, and I like Whitney Carson, and I really like Sharna. And I think Sharna is just beautiful, and I love her accent, and I love everything about Sharna, so I really hope that this is a real romance. I felt like he was very sexy with his dance. His hips, he's got hips for freaking days. Like, I know to be a bull rider you have to have hips, and you gotta like be able to like move with the bull. I loved his performance. I'm almost speechless. I do feel like he needed to point his toes a little bit, but other than that, I felt like he was pretty good. I really liked him. I did not think he would be as good as he is. Also, can we just have like Sharna in cowboy boots every day? Like her abs and that little like crop top flannel thing that she was wearing is just amazing. And she was wearing cowboy boots, and it's just, I love Sharna so much. They got a 22 out of 40. And then there was Charo and Keo, which first of all, Charo is just, wow, is she like crazy. I felt like she was fun. She needs a little bit more movement in her hips. She like would move the upper half of her body, but her lower half like didn't quite move. Like her hips, not like her legs. Her legs were fine, but her hips like didn't move with the top of her body. I thought it was a little bit weird how that happened, but she is super loud and energetic, and she's such like a performer, and like holy shit with her like interrupting Tom and him having to like grab her, and like holy shit, she's like a character. She's like wild. I really liked her though. I do think she should probably calm it down a little bit for live TV, but you know, that's just her. She got a 21. And then there was The Bachelor, Nick Vile and Peta, which I'm so glad Peta is back. Her little baby boy is so cute. I follow them on Instagram and they're so cute. I felt like he was way better than expected. He's very competitive, but he is very flat-footed. Really fun though, and he needs to be a little bit more delicate. He was kind of like all muscular and manly and like not so much like smooth. He needs to be a little bit more delicately. I felt like he was kind of like barbarian a little bit, just a little bit, not like super bad, but he was a little rough with Peta, and I feel like he needs to be a little bit more delicate and smooth. He got all 6s, making him a 24 out of 40. And then there was Heather Morris, who, first of all, I did not know that she was Beyonce's backup singer or backup dancer. I did not know that at all. She is paired with Max, and I also saw on the preview for this week, the second week, not the one I'm doing the recap on, but the second week, Max apparently got hurt or something. I'll have to watch it. I have not watched this week's episode yet, so I'll have to watch, but that really sucks for him. Her first dance on week 1 was amazing. Starting at Heather, for the rest of the show, everyone just got a little bit better. Heather was really good, and then David Ross performed after her, and he was really good, and then they just like, every performance after that just kept getting a little bit better, and it was just so good. Heather has such beautiful lines. You can tell she kind of comes from a musical, like a dance background, because her lines and just how she extended her hands and stuff was very pretty, so beautiful, and her spins were really pretty. Again, I don't think she was in like a ballroom background type dance, but she does have some dance background, and you can definitely tell. Heather got all 7s, making her a 28. And then there was David Ross, who was the Major League Baseball player, and Lindsay Arnold, who I love Lindsay again too. I loved his personality. I felt like he needed to have his toes pointed a little bit, but he definitely was so much better than I expected. I did not expect at all for a baseball player to be that good at dance. He was so good, so good. I was really shocked with him. Thought he was fun. He was very smooth. He was very good. Like, he was amazing for the week 1 of a baseball player with no dance background. I just thought he was amazing, and like I said, it just kept getting better after this. He too got all 7s, making him a 28 out of 40. And then there was Erica Jane and Gleb. I didn't really like Erica Jane a whole lot, to be honest. I felt like she was a little bit cocky in her package. I don't watch The Real Housewives, so I don't know her personality, so maybe that's just her, and maybe I just took it the wrong way, or maybe she was making a joke and being sarcastic, and again, I just took it the wrong way. But I didn't really like her personality. I felt like she was very cocky, and she wasn't even that good. But then again, it could just be like a confidence rich, prissy thing. I don't know. I didn't feel like her dance was really that much ballroom. It seemed more like a hip-hop, like a raunchy I don't know, it just didn't seem ballroom for me, and I agreed with Lynn on this, saying it was a little bit too raunchy for me. She kind of reminds me of like a more raunchy, more cocky Amber Rose from last year. And I liked Amber, but I don't really like Erica Jane. I feel like she was too raunchy, too cocky, and too like prissy and thinking she's better than anybody else. But that's just my first impression. I do not know her TV personality background, so I don't really know much about her, but that was just my first impression of her. She got all 6s, making her a 24 out of 40. And then there was Rashad Jennings and Emma. This was probably the best performance of the night, other than like everybody. These performances were really, really good for week 1. I was really surprised. Rashad Jennings is an NFL football player, and surprisingly enough, NFL football players seem to do really, really good on Dancing with the Stars, and this dude was freaking amazing. Again, did not expect him to be as good as he is. He's very charming. He had like the smile, kind of like the Steeler guy that was on last season. I forget what his name was. He was so charming and so smooth and so good, and he had rhythm, and his hips were moving, and he was just so good. It blows me away that football players are so good at dancing. It's amazing to me. But 31 out of 40, which is the second highest of the night. And then there was Mr. T and Kim. Mr. T is just awesome. First of all, I just love him. Let's just get that to be known. He's not so much of a dancer. His timing was off. He was not the best. He tried really, really hard, but he was not the best. He again had that little like barbaric feel about him, and I think that was partially like the character of the dance. But he did have like a very flat-footed, very like barbaric, manly kind of thing instead of being very smooth. But he tried really, really hard, and who doesn't love Mr. T? I mean, come on. He got all 5s, making him a 20 out of 40. Then last but not least was Simone Biles, who I said this last season, and I will say this every season that they have a gymnast on there. Gymnasts are just naturally going to do well on a dancing show. A gymnast won last season, and gymnastics and dance are very, very similar. I know they say on TV or they say on the show that it's very different, but I was a gymnast for most of my life, and I was also a dancer for most of my life, and they're very, very similar. They're very different too, but they do have some similarities. And Simone and Sasha performed, and it was, as expected, really, really good. Every time I hear that there is a gymnast on there, I just expect them to automatically do well, and most of them do, so it was just as expected. She was beautiful, amazing. Her personality is so cute. She reminds me so much of Lori Hernandez from last season. And I mean, they were in the Olympics together, so that makes sense that their personalities are a little bit similar. She was so amazing. That like goes without saying that a gymnast is going to do good on the show, and I just thought it was really, really good. And Simone ended up getting all 8s, making her a 32 and making her also the highest of the night. And it was just such a good opening show. It was so good, so unexpected. I didn't think that this many people would be as good as they are. I really, really liked David Ross. I really hope he goes far, and I really think that Rashad Jennings will go far, is my early predictions. And probably Heather Morris, honestly, to be completely fair. I think she will go pretty far too. Normani, I think, will go far. Nancy Kerrigan, I think, has the potential to go far as well. There's like so many good people in here this season, and I'm really actually excited to see who makes it to the final, because I think so many of these people deserve to go to the finals already. They're just so good, and I love how this show, you get to see people grow, and you get to hear their stories, and you just get to know these celebrities in a different way than you normally do. And it's just, I love this show so much. Not only is it dance and music and something that I really, really love, but the journey that these celebrities go through is just amazing, and I'm so excited for the season to start. It is week 2 right now, so I will be filming a week 2 recap probably tomorrow, so be looking out for that. And I also have a couple other vlogs that I need to put up pretty soon, so that will all be happening. I'm sorry that I got a little bit behind there, but I'm going to stay caught up from now on. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!